Today, I want to talk some more about the unconscious mind and the subconscious mind. In the previous videos, I've talked about this a little bit, so I think I'd like to dive a little deeper into it too for us to talk more about what I mean by the unconscious mind and what I mean by the subconscious mind. So, if you recall, I talked about the mind being an activity and sort of partitioned it into different parts: the unconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious. And I've been talking about the unconscious mind, and I said the unconscious mind is where your habits and your patterns, your repeated habits and patterns, begin to form. For example, when you're growing up as a child, there are certain things you need to learn about this reality. So, your parents, your caretakers, and the society that you live in will give you these lessons. And even besides that, just basic things like learning how to walk, learning how to chew food, how to, tie your shoes, do different things. These are things that you are taught, and you have to repeat them, and they become habits and they become patterns, which then become part of you. And those things are formed in the unconscious mind because essentially they become things that you are unconscious about them, in the sense of you're not consciously always thinking about them. Say you learn how to shower, you learn how to take a bath. When you're bathing or showering, sometimes you're not consciously always there, and before you know, you're done. So these habits, if you think about the human being as it's a very intelligent machine, right? And it's kind of created this type of mind so that certain things can be taken care of. And these are things that you've learned, and that becomes the things that you don't have to always focus on, because you're going to grow up, and when your conscious mind develops, you start using your conscious mind for thinking, for processing, for making decisions, accepting and rejecting, and things of that nature. So the unconscious mind holds these patterns, and they become a system, right? And that system becomes sort of like a program, which is then held in your subconscious mind. And that program, or those set of programs, form the belief systems of our lives. They are like the beginning point, like I said the other time, through which the vibration we are in terms of our consciousness, our higher self, filters through. So this vibration filters through the belief systems that we have, and out of it we feel certain ways and we think certain thoughts. So our emotions, feelings, and thoughts are largely influenced by our belief systems, which are the programs that are now held because of the habitual repetition and patterns that the unconscious mind has formed in there. And now your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. Bob Proctor does a great job about explaining the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and manifesting and things of that nature. He's a great teacher. I would say check him out. Look him up and watch some of his videos. He does a great job explaining this. Your subconscious mind, like I said, is your emotional mind. That's where you're able to feel the vibration, or the vibrational states that you're in, or the vibrations around you. It's the part of your mind which takes things in, information in, and uses it and plays out in the world. It's not like your conscious mind where you can accept or reject something. Whatever your subconscious mind takes, it absorbs and works with it. So it's not necessarily making a differentiation between what you may consider as true or false, real or not real, or things of that nature. Your subconscious mind is so intelligent, but it doesn't have that functionality of saying, I reject this information or accept that information. Your conscious mind is the one that does that, because that's where at least you as an individual can make a decision. Someone comes to you with some information, and then you process it and you say no instead of yes, for whatever reason, whatever processing you did. That was an activity of the conscious mind, the intellect, thinking, things of that nature. The subconscious mind is the emotional mind. It feels and it generates and plays out the reality. I will go into should I say deeper explanation what I mean by this, but just take that to begin with. And when I say that's where your emotional mind is, like your intuition, when you feel something, right? Like I use an example in one of the previous videos where you can go to a place and you feel a vibe, and from that vibe you know that okay, I need to make this move or make that move, maybe leave the place, maybe stay in the place, depending on the vibe that you feel. That knowing that comes to you is coming through your subconscious mind. This is your emotional mind. This is the mind that feels. And like I was explaining, from the unconscious mind then comes the subconscious, and then the conscious then develops. So you can understand how the subconscious allows you to tap into knowing the vibrational states that you're in, or the vibrational state around you. Your feelings allow you to tap into the unseen energies, right? And when you think about the unseen energies, it's like things I cannot physically see in form. And like I said, everything is vibration. So there is the visible vibration, and there's the vibration that is invisible. And with that, you can feel it, you can sense it. Now, your subconscious mind, like I keep saying, is where your belief systems are held. The belief systems that get formed from your unconscious mind level, where the habits and stuff are playing to sort of create your own rules of how to live in this world. If you think about it, if you're a child growing up and you're learning all these patterns, habits that are supposed to help you in life, right? It needs somewhere to store it, because you're repeating it so that it can be stored somewhere where you can access it later and use it without necessarily having to consciously think about it. So there's an intelligent process going on that's doing all of this for you. This is how you're able to do the things you're able to do. Let's say you learn to play a sport. Once it becomes part of you, it becomes embodied in your system, once it becomes downloaded into your subconscious mind, you can go and play that sport, and you don't have to always be thinking in that moment. It becomes, like they say, second nature. It becomes natural to you, because the repetition that happens when you're learning something from the unconscious mind then puts this program or system into your subconscious mind, into your subconscious body, and you're able to operate from that way. And if you think about it, most of the things that we do, for most of us, there's an argument that maybe 90-95% of the time we're operating from the subconscious. We are not always aware or there or conscious of what we're doing in every single moment. So you can imagine that our activities, even our thoughts and how we feel, are subject to these programs, these operating systems that exist within our subconscious mind. These belief systems that are the lenses through which we experience reality, the things we have taken for granted and see as fact, because for us in our reality, that is the foundation of how we see the world, because that is how we operate. Those are our belief systems, and that is our operating system. Bob Proctor calls them your paradigm. In the next video, I'll talk more about this as we dive deeper into the subconscious mind, because I think it's very important to understand this. It's very important to get a sense of what your subconscious mind is and what it's doing, because we are run by it most of the time. We are programmed. We've been programmed from birth, and we're still getting programmed from different things like television, social media, from our society, our friends, our close friends. We are always taking information in, and that information, depending on how much we are immersing ourselves in it and repeating it, the natural mechanism of the learning that happens from the unconscious to the subconscious and then to the conscious is always working. So you're taking that information in, you're repeating a couple of times, your conscious mind is like, okay, if he's repeating this a couple of times, it's information that he or she is really gonna need at some point. So you know what? Let's take that information and we imprint it into the subconscious mind. The more you do it, the deeper it gets imprinted into your subconscious mind and becomes part of you, so that the subconscious mind can then play it out in reality and live that reality when you are not conscious. And it even affects your conscious mind, because now those emotions influence the type of thoughts you have and whatnot. So if you don't take charge of your conscious mind to see this mechanism, and apply your conscious mind in a way where you think about it, process it, and decide to change those, that program just continues to run you, and on and on and on it goes, and you become a particular person of a particular way that is just playing out these programs. But your conscious mind always gives you the ability to change these programs. And I think that's the whole point of this exploration that I'm going on, that I'm sharing with you, is not just knowing about this, but more importantly, how do we apply this information in our lives consciously, so that we can see our programs, play them all out, and see, okay, I see these programs and I would like to change this and that. And in that process, becoming the creator of your own program, and hence the creator of your reality. I hope this video, like all the others, have been helpful and they've given you some useful information, and we'll continue to talk more about this. I love to talk about this, so let's keep going and see what we discover. Okay, so thank you, and as always, you know what to do. Like the video if you enjoyed it, if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel, share with people you think will find this useful, and leave a comment, question, a thought that you have, a revelation, and let's continue exploring. Alright, thanks. Peace.